but it's a nice steady position with a nice bend. Now put your hands together and make your hands more mirror images of each other. That's it. Make the circle a little smaller. And then let's change directions. Right heel down. Okay, and you can change directions any way you want. Your left thumb is too flat on the left hand, so mirror images. Look at your two hands. There you go, mirror images. And then change direction. Well, since you got the camera out, maybe we'll go back the other way. Okay, a little bit more energy. A little more energy. A little more energy. Okay. All right, so now we're going along, and the book says, inside leg, push the horse from the inside leg, balancing to the outside rein, with the inside equal positioning through the body, and we pretty much have that. I don't know why we're throwing our head, but we pretty much have that. Position them a little bit more to the left. Okay, easy. All right, and then keep them positioned to the inside and ask them to walk. Okay, and then halt. And just have a little organizing with his mouth with the bit, and I would flex him a little bit to the right, straighten him out, and then we're going to do a turn on the forehand again from your right leg to change direction. Does he do this often, or we didn't see it before, so he doesn't like us today. So position him off your right leg and leg yield him off to the left. That's it. Turning him around to the left, turning him around to the left with good connection. Okay, so if we zoom in on the bit, position him a little bit to the right. Now that was better though. So, from down here we see a little bit too much of the bit on the inside pulled through, so we say, it's not really in the outside rein, or the bit would be a little bit more in the middle of his mouth. Yeah. Okay, make the circle a little bit smaller. And then we occasionally see droopy reins, droopy rein on the outside, which we don't want. Now position them again to the inside. More to the inside. Okay, all right, correct. Now straighten a little bit your left hand, thumb on top. Take a little bit more pressure on the left rein. Put your hands a little bit closer together. We don't like that moment, right? Because he's counterbent. So we want to position him to the right. Position him more to the right. More to the right. Right heel down and forward. More to the right. More to the right. And that's where, I think it's nice. It's an even positioning there, but the left rein is a bit loose. Okay, so we'll shorten up the reins. Ask him to halt. Okay, so we want to get him equally bending. He's not now, though, right? Okay, walk forward again. Hands together. Position him a little bit more to the right. That's it. Walk down the long side with a right positioning. And again, the same thing. You can stay in the wall or stay a little bit off the wall, but position him off your right leg. We look down at the ceiling at any point. We want to see a right positioning, and I won't say we all the time do. You can look in the mirror straight ahead even. You want to see a little bit of a right position the whole time. Right position the whole time. So bumping him off your right leg, and then positioning him to the right. That's correct. And down the same long side again, the same thing. Good there. Positioning right. Good there. Good. Keep walking. Look up straight. Left thumb on top. Hands together enough. Mirror images of your two hands. Okay, fine. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, hands a little closer together. All right. Now, remind him and tell him again, we talked about the little bit of bridge of flexion and, half halt to get from one gait to the other. So position him again to the right while you tell him and trot. So position him right. You're going to use a little bit of a restraining aid on the left, positioning on the right leg, positioning of the right rein. So using driving aids, bending aids, and a little bit restraining aid on the outside, and tell him to trot. No change of frame, no change of bend, and off to the trot. Okay, now that was one of the better ones. Okay. Keep riding forward, riding forward, riding forward, Riding a little bit, all right, good. Riding faster. Now, I would be happy with this trot right now down the long side. You know, quote unquote, this outline. You see in the tape, if you see it, whatever, that outline. The tempo is okay for now. The bending was okay. It's a little bit inconsistent now. And we would like to get him a little bit more eventually collected. That's much better. Not in collected trot, but more collected that he is, and more organized, and then we'll get better that Canada part. Okay, so I like this a lot better. Okay, again, you can still see the bit pulled through on the right. Okay, that's our goal, is to get him a little bit more in the left rein. And then we won't be bothering him quite so much, and we won't get that little bit insulted head tossing stuff. Okay, get after him a little bit forward and position him. Make sure that, you know, if he does get unsteady like that, we don't necessarily have to punish him at this moment, but ride him forward and let it not bother us or not get any reward out of the whole deal. And then ask him to walk again. And there, the same thing. We're a little bit too much focused on the right rein and the right leg and not quite enough focused on the connection on the left. Position him more to the right. More to the right. That's it. Okay. And then trot again. Okay. So hands more mirror images. Let's change. That's a nice position to the right coming towards us. Change direction. Okay. And because we're a little bit, you know, we're tending to be one-sided into that right rein, we're going to position him a little bit to the right down the long side. Now, the interesting thing is when he goes to the left, he's much flatter in his trot, although he does bend nicer to the left, and he goes easier, you know, that way to the left. He's a bit flatter moving to the left and more strung out, etc. So I would tend to think that just ride him a little bit stronger on the right side to match the direction to the right. So ask him to walk again. I'm not quite sure why he has total difference, but and then ask him to halt. So we're going to want the same connection in the left rein that we had in the other direction. And occasionally you can position him to the right, but again, I don't want to develop such a thought process of right rein that we forget the left. The key is the left rein. Okay, as far as reins go. Yes, his body, the key is his right hind leg and your right leg. So that's correct. But we don't want to encourage him to hang any more in the right rein. And ask him to walk forward again. Okay, so you can again use a little bit the position him to the right and trot, like you were going in the right direction. Position him a little bit to the right and tell him to trot. So into the left rein, positioned a bit to the right, and trot him on a little bit more forward. Okay, and then ask him to walk again. And halt. Okay, and then stop once and turn towards me. Just turn around to look at me once. Okay. So now our job is hopefully to make him equally supple both directions. This direction is a bit work, and then we end up have to almost hold him there a little bit too much, which is not the key. The key is to have him here, and then the key is to have him here, and we want to get him, on the bed and stretching through and stuff. But the problem with some of the transitions and the problem with the Canada part is because he's kind of going along like this, a bit strung out, okay? And then we ask him to canter, and he's like all strung out, and he goes, oh, okay, canter. We want him here a little more, working, and then he can strike off here and canter. So we got to make this long guy more compressed. And we talk about we don't want to hooded in the front. Our job is to drive him more from behind. And again, drive him more from behind into a connection in front and more to an outside rein in general. But here is to the left rein. So we want to make enough transitions thinking about doing just that, you know, steadying this just the front, just enough to push this a little bit more through. So it's not holding and kicking, but it's energizing forward and then just being able to, like a bookend here, just push all the books a little bit more towards the front. Okay? So ask him to walk again and trot again, and that's now going to be the goals of our transitions, to keep him nice in the bridle. Again, I don't know why if he's tossing. He's not really liking us with the right position so much. We haven't worn him out yet, but whatever that is, I don't know. We won't point a finger at it too much, but we certainly will try not to allow him to reward himself anyway. Okay, so position him to the right and ask him to halt. Now in the transition to halt, I want you to drive a little bit more with your leg maybe than you have, and ask him to halt by driving him forward with your leg closed to the bit. All right, that was better. And he resists, but just stay there again, a nice connection, and just a little organizing with your right rein, but a little straighter. Just ask him to soften, come just a little, soften his jaw. No, not that way, buddy. And ask him just to come a little bit rounder. Straighten him a little on the left, that's it. Okay, and then walk forward again. With that idea of connection, and shorten the rein a little bit. That's it. Put him always in that right position. So you always want him a little bit positioned to the right. Not too much drifting left. But again, that's better than drifting in. Position him more to the right, more to the right, more to the right, more to the right. Okay, good, good, and trot. Now that's a lot better. Trot. Position him to the right. And he may not be liking us, but keep that connection. Okay, ride forward. Ride forward. Position him a little right, little to the right, little to the right. Now keep him positioned to the right and ask him to walk. And push him off the right leg. Push him off the right leg. Okay, that's enough. Good. Now close your leg and ask him to halt. Forward. Now take a couple of steps forward. Flex him right though. Flex him right. A couple steps forward, flex him right. Flex him more to the right. Good. And then halt. But ride him forward into the halt with him flexed to the right. That's all right. And stay there, but ask him, his head shouldn't be up in the air. And I'm not, yep, that's it. And then walk forward. Just invite him a little rounder. I'm not advocating, saw his head down. But we don't want him resisting quite so much. That's it. And then ask for a halt again. So ride him forward into the bridle, much better. Good. Just keep your right hand just a little alive. Keep the elbow supple and live, and then fingers a little alive in your right hand, and then tell him to walk forward. And you think of the first step again, stepping forward from behind, and then stepping forward into the trot, and then trot again. Okay. Now a little bit more energetic stride. Flex them a little to the right again. Okay, good. Flex them a little bit more to the right. Now if we can get him to go a little bit more like this all the time, and then ask him to walk again. Push him a little bit more from behind. Push him underneath. Good. And then ask him to halt somewhere. And flex him. Don't ask. See if you can keep him into the left rein a little more. Ask him not to halt quite so hollow. Okay. Then walk forward again. We can get a halt that's a little bit more organized. Then we're going to ask him to rein back. Okay, and halt. Okay. Yep, now ask him to back up. Couple more steps, and then walk forward into the connection, that's it. Good. And keep him a little flexed right, and then halt again. Good. And rein back again. Good. And rein back. And trot forward. Flex right, and trot forward. Flex right, trot forward. Okay, good. Okay, good. March, 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 march. Now, good definite post. Lot of activity. Keep going. This is way better. Keep going. Keep going. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And you got a little bit more connection on the left. Not a lot, but a little more. Put your hands together. The left hand is flat. There you go. Keep going. Yep. And then change direction. Keep going. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we don't want to flex him to the inside too much. We want to make sure that he doesn't brace. Our half halting rein really is the outside more so, and we don't want him bearing on it or bracing on it. Ask him to walk again, just keeping the right rein a little, again, just a little live in your hand, and then ask him to halt and rein back. Drop forward. And keep that left connection. Now ride him again a little bit more energetically forward. More energetically forward. Again, if any hand really kind of moves a little bit of the right fingers and the right hand, ask for a walk again. Ride forward, right hand halt. And ride forward into the halt. Maybe you can ride him a little more forward into the halt next time. Drop. Connection, trot. Come on, buddy. Trot. Come on. Good. And then walk again. Right forward to the halt and off. And off. Put your leg on. Flexing a little right. Back straight. Shorten the rein a smidge. And ask him to walk. And then let's ask him to trot. Walk. And let's canter. Hold him in a right position, but we want to invite him into the left rein. Flex him a little to the right. Sit. And sitting trot. Good. And call. Left and right, left and right, left and right. Good. Sit. That's going to be a little bit more organized. Left and a little right. Right. And then roll forward again. Yeah, that's good. And hold again. Left to the right, good, and walk forward again. And drop. Left to the right. Very good. Okay, good. Feel the left ring. Feel the left ring. Feel the left ring. And walk. And right beat canter. Okay. So we do want that a bit more calm. Okay, good. Sitting. Hey, sit. Keep slow him down a little. 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 Good. So again, it's slowing him down by rebalancing him. That's right. So rebalance. Sitting down. Flexing right. Good. And then flexing him a little bit again to the right. And then back to trot. Flexing him to the right. Good. Allowing a little of the inner rein. Keep the left thumb on top. Way better. Way better. Okay. Good. Way better. Let's make a little 3-loop serpentine in your sitting trot. Again, push them off through your leg. At some point, it'd be nice to have a little bit shorter rein, but we'll do. Okay. Again, it's a little hard to make equal loop And then you wanted to kind of do like a dive, right? And you didn't really dive into space, so you kind of dove into his chest. And that's our idea of, again, trying to get these transitions a little bit more balanced, a little bit more uphill feeling, that then he can stay a little bit more uphill and do these Canada parts. Reloop serpentine again, flexing a little to the right. Okay? Way better connection at the left toe. Left thumb on top, equal hands, equal rein length, and walk on your serpentine. Walk and trot. Up and walk. Running forward, be a little more forward. Turning right, right you can. Okay, have a bit of a trot. Circle right. Sitting down. And back to sitting trot. Okay, flex to the right. Good. And walk. Okay. Good. Now we're going to do Canada part again, but you the same way you're going to have to do it in the trot. We're going to have to get gently pumping up from behind a bit into the connection, and you're going to have to compress this a little bit. So I said book it before stood in front and push everything in front. Think of a little bit more of a spring now, and you're going to make that slinky, that spring, push it a little bit to the front. Then when it's time to do a Canada part, we'll let the front go. And I don't mean throw away. We'll compress them so that they can spring a little bit more out. So preparing again for the Canada part. Let's Canada much more prompt. We want to prompt, more prompt from the walk, and we want it more prompt in the Canada. That was clearly better. Choke up both reins. Okay. And the connection's a lot better. Very nice. And down a long time just like that. Okay. So now we have that spring a lot more compressed. Keep reminding him by flexing a little to the right. We have a lot better connection on the outside ring. Keep him a little bit positioned to the inside. Circle and tight. Try to circle. Left thumb on top. Mirror image. Circle anywhere. I don't want to hang too much on the long side. Now, if you sit really tall, really open, just keep a little flexing in your right side. Sit really tall. And ask him to trot. Close your leg and ask him to trot. Just like that. Same way. Stay there. Very nice. Stay there. Very good. When you stay there, I said don't allow him to get any longer, any faster, nothing different. Just like that. Now ask him to canter right here. There you go. Okay. Very nice. Very good. Okay. So now we have a much more organized course. Of course, I wouldn't mind you coming into the fence too. It's not quite so long. Very nice. Good. Sitting down, tall, little flexing arm, little flexing arm. Very good. You feel that he's a bit more underneath you now, right? Yeah. Yes. Way better. Now let's ask him to trot. remember that, you know, in order to collect again, it takes a drive, steady, tackle, a drive. You're not slowing or rebalancing. He wants to make himself long again. There he's back. Okay, good. Now he's back. Good. He's a little go-y. He could be almost a little bit slower. Up and like that. Good. Very nice. Now I don't get like worried that you're just going to fall out of the canter into the truck. Maybe now I get a little worried. Down the long side. On the circle, no. It's just balancing him a little bit more. A little better balance for a little slower tempo. Better balance for slow. Very nice. Good. Careful. Yeah, not for the trot. Not letting him run downhill. Just stay uphill. Very nice. Good. Very good. Change direction. I don't know when he needs a break. Now just be careful again not to let him get too long on the right rein. Too position to the left. Little reminders on the right. Little position. Okay. Hands together. Again, little reminders. You know, little creative right hand. A little driving right leg that he stays into the left rein and ask him to fall. Underneath. Very nice. Good. And then trot. Super. And if you keep him organized with the right rein, ask him to canter, but again, compress him. You keep him organized on the right rein, that he canters more prompt. That's the problem right now with the departs. And canter. Okay. Except for the prompt. So now again, you figure out how are you going to make these half calls. I kind of like to think a little steady saying canter. You know, these are the two-syllable words. Prepare and go. And lots of preparing. 4. And let's go back to the top. Okay, nice transition. Now think of get ready, but then go. Canter. Yes. That was quite nice. Good. Good. Always on the long side, no change. Okay. Good. So now he looks a bit more like a first level horse. Maybe the pole this exact second is a bit low. His ears could be a little higher. And now he looks more like a first level horse or a preliminary horse or a training level horse versus a novice horse. Ears a little higher. That's it. Good. So again, the difference is the balance. And the balance is what's going to give you the better transition. So back to trot. Long sides are hard, but you manage. Easy. A little slower. A little slower. With the ears on top. That's okay. Doesn't matter. And walk. So if you find yourself holding them back too much, or in your hand too much, then you can go ahead and walk and trot and readjust. Use the transitions. And trot again. Easy. And walk again. And trot again. And then we're going to canter again. But don't just go cantering. Wait. Organize. You need to have more in your hand, actually. More energy. You need to be holding him back. He's going to, come on, let me canter, let me canter. And then you just go, okay. Then canter. Good. Very nice. Very good. So he's got to be all ready. He's got to be all pumped. And then you just turn the switch on. He's like, okay, well then go. Nice canter. Good. Hands together. Again, ears up. So you make your drive half halt. Almost at the same time. Your bit of drive bend, but drive and right at the end of your drive, sort of on the DRI, and then VE, you steady. So you drive, but at the end of your word, you give them a little restraint, a little resistance on the outside. So you drive and then steady it, and then drive and then steady it. So you say, come on under, not so fast. Come on and control it. Let's go control it. Let's go control it. Good. And then you adjust it with your leg and your feet. You know how much jump or how much faster. Now let him go a little bit fast. No, that's not. That's a bad word. Let him go a little bit bigger, a little more ground covering. All right, now collect it. So again, now you're going to have to drive, steady it. Drive, steady it. Drive, steady it. Good. And then in between, when his front legs are hitting the ground, that's when you just let it take a breath and then you do it again. So that when his left front leg is on the ground, you don't want to be holding at that moment. You want to be about ready to say, drive, steady again. But not holding it when that last beat, that left front leg is on the ground. You want to be relaxing just a bit. And then you tell him again. And then let's ask him to trot. And balance. So half halt, balance, good. Yeah, like that. Again, I don't want you to feel like you're just holding his head up. Good. That's way lighter. Okay, now I don't get the feeling you're holding his head up. Whoop, except for there. And then you drive half halt again. Or make a nice transition. And then we're going to go to the right. Excuse me. Change directions. Easy. This is a little fast, okay, but at least it's active. And there again, he goes to dive. So again, you drive and make a half halt. Good. Change directions to the right. Flex right. Turning. Good. Okay. Now get ready to canter, but I want you to really pump him up, steady him, get ready, and then at a good moment, canter, steady, restraining on the outside, positioning right, canter, and it's got to be prompt. Okay, very nice. Very good. Brain's organized, so we can keep him organized, keep the pole on top, thumb on top. The left elbow against your side. There you go. Nice. Very nice. Good. Steady him on the left. Very nice and even. Very good. 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 I go for a smidgen shorter range, closer to that tape, but I like this. Okay. Good. All right. Now if you think of again a few half halts or stronger half halts. And then flexing it to the right and trot. Stay tall, very nice. Good. Very good. Okay, and walk. Now I would do like a lock. That was a nice transition. You can give him a long range. I think we'll let him stop for that. Yeah. That's a lot. We'll do different breakdowns. So rather than breakdowns, start walking. Okay, better and better and better. You see in the tape, less and less flap on the left rein, which was totally flat when we started.